Look, I want to move on now to, I guess, what has been, to my mind, the big actual global issue of the last 7, 8, 9 days, the death of Charlie Kirk and the, I think, massive changes in culture and debate about culture and freedom of speech that has engendered in the Western world. And the reaction from people on different parts of the political spectrum to Charlie Kirk's brutal and horrific assassination. The latest, I'm not going to call him a victim of this, the latest person to feel and I think there's a new culture, it's not cancel culture, it's consequence culture. And someone who felt consequence culture yesterday was Jimmy Kimmel, who went on to his late night show and just lied. I don't know if he thought he was telling a joke. He said the shooter, the assassin who killed Charlie Kirk, was a MAGA supporter, which he clearly wasn't. He was living with his transitioning flatmate and was a member of Antifa, which is a left-wing and I would say terrorist organisation. But what everyone has said, or every right or decent thinking person has said, not David Farrier, not Mohan Dutta, but decent people have said what Charlie Kirk was a free speech advocate. You didn't have to like what he was saying, but he was prepared to say it, and he was prepared to go out and say it on campuses and debate with people. And in a philosophical sense, that is a damn good thing. I thought, and he was a young guy, and I thought, well, who in New Zealand is a young guy who's into free speech and might have some thoughts that are relevant about this? And I thought of Oliver Jull, our friend from New Plymouth Boys High School, who fought to not be cancelled because he had a speech in a speech competition that his teachers thought might make people uncomfortable because it wasn't their idea of politically correct. Oliver actually joins me in the studio now. It's nice to see you, mate. Well, what are you doing why aren't you in school? Why aren't you dressed up in your shorts and your socks?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it is the last 2 days of the school term, but I'm down here for a stage band music competition with New Plymouth Boys High School.
What do you play?
I'm playing the keys and a little bit of vocals.
Okay, all right. You're a musician as well. Amazing. Hey, after your victory, and we called it here on the platform when we saw the statement that came out of the school, fundamentally, they weren't sorry at all. They were just having you on. Are you in a position to talk about that, or are you back with kind of the lawyers and the discussions on that?
No, I can most certainly talk about that.
Okay, what's happened with that after the Clayton's apology?
Yeah, well, so we had that settlement agreement, and then they basically
threw it back in your face.
Oh, exactly. That's New Plymouth Boys High School hasn't made a statement to the media at all on this case. They've practically refused any comment until after that settlement agreement came out. And then they said
we did nothing wrong.
Exactly. They pretty much reneged on the apology, and they said we did nothing wrong, there's no regret, and we apologise for the distress.
Yeah.
And the issue there is that they left out the key part of the apology, which was that they apologised for the distress and the action that they did of excluding me.
Yeah.
Because it was wrong.
Yeah.
And so they completely reneged on that, which...
Did they not realise that people would pick that up, do you think?
I think they were poking the bear, Sean, if I'm being honest. But
so they never... Look, it may be they never negotiated with you in good faith at all.
Potentially. I'm not quite sure of that, but potentially.
So where's it at now?
Well, after we saw that, we were quite shocked. So in guidance with the Free Speech Union, we consulted a barrister, and we sent the school a legal letter saying they have 24 hours to retract that statement, to acknowledge that that is not the school's official position, and to email both the Stuff News and the Post, where it was published publicly, that statement, to say that this is not our position, here is our position, we apologise, and acknowledge that he was excluded. And
did they?
They did, and they responded 24 hours and 10 minutes after we sent that email, which is really, it's pretty petty, but they did do it, and we felt if we were to push it any further, it'd probably be a bit excessive, so we've decided to leave it there.
Okay. Are they going to do the free speech training with the free speech union? I can't see that that'd be much bloody point.
I'm not sure how much time they have left to consult that back, but it is in the settlement agreement, and the free speech union hasn't been contacted yet about it, but I hope they will. Otherwise, it'll be another
But
breach.
you're still okay at school. You're just getting on with it.
Yeah, I'm doing well in my
something.
studies.
I just think they've been rat bags.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the current thing.
Mm.
Did you know of Charlie Kirk? Had you seen this stuff online?
Yeah, absolutely. Lots.
Okay. And how would you describe what you thought of Charlie Kirk?
Well, obviously I didn't agree with him on every political issue, but he was an incredible debater. He was articulate. He, adept, armored with facts. I would say his pen was his sword, and he was incredible. I mean, obviously, me and many young people, we see a lot of him. He goes viral on social media for his debates he does, with the woke left and all this kind of stuff. And he was a political bastion. So I'd seen a lot of him, and I actually had a lot of respect for him.
Okay, other mates? You got other mates who are into Charlie Kirk?
Yeah. No, we've all been.
So how did you feel when you heard that he'd been assassinated?
Yeah, well, I woke up on that Wednesday morning, and I couldn't really believe it. I mean, this is a guy. He's 31 years old. He was he was incredible. I've seen so much of him, and to think that he's just been shot and killed. I mean, to put it blankly, publicly executed.
Yeah, I think that would be fair.
In broad daylight is just insane. It's insane. It's that political violence that I believe is currently on a rise, and it's a dangerous trend.
Yeah. You saw the reaction to it, and what did you think of the reaction to it? And also the way it was covered,
Yeah, I mean, the coverage was certainly interesting, because you had, I saw, obviously, just following up on that Jimmy Kimmel lie, I saw an article published in Stuff News just a few days ago where they were repeating that lie, talking about how he was possibly a member of a far-right group. Which is insane, because...
No, just complete bullshit, basically. Sorry, excuse my schoolboy French.
Exactly.
Okay. Like it or not, Oliver, you're quite famous for your free speech stand now, and probably some people might equate you a little bit to Charlie Kirk. Does something like his assassination make you think again about whether or not you want to be sticking your head up over the parapet?
Well, even though it's a incredibly tragic incident, if anything, I think this should push people more towards standing up for what you believe is right and pushing for that free debate. I think his death has really pulled out a polarity between that, the left wing and the right wing within the United States, because you've had lots of people who have been incredibly supportive, remembrance of him, who've spoken really kindly of him, even those that disagree with him. But then we've seen this visceral hatred almost, people, because they disagree with him on his political opinion. Because of that disagreement, they justify, they excuse the violence that had occurred.
Oh yeah, yeah. And look, if you're not swimming with the liberal left mainstream, I mean, I think we've been called recently hard right, alt right, extreme right as an organisation. The platform, I'd say we're free speechers. Are you a religious man?
No, I'm not religious.
No, you're not religious. Okay, so I'm just trying to delineate with the Charlie Kirk thing. What about your fellow students? Has it also had an impact with them? They know about it?
Yeah, everyone. That morning, everyone was talking about it. Everyone in all my classes were like, "Oh my God, have you seen this Charlie Kirk thing?" And while there were lots of people that were, you're quite upset and actually could acknowledge and understand the gravity of this incident, there were a surprising number of people who attempted to justify his death because of the views he held, which was really, really
people,
disgusting.
academics in New Zealand have done it. Mohan Datta, a guy who's still, I think, applying for more taxpayer funding to make weird movies, David Farrier.
Really?
He basically said he was a vile dick. I mean, there's been some real hatred abroad, and, I've bumped into people who have said, "Oh, it was bad he got shot," but we'll just stop with the but. How old are you again, Oliver?
I'm 16 years old.
You're 16, okay. Some people are saying you should found a turning point chapter in New Zealand.
Oh, But potentially, there's probably a market for that here. I wouldn't be surprised.